Everybody, hope you're all doing well. I'm going to talk about some stuff today. But first and foremost, before we go any further, I want to say thank you to all of you. It's been a wonderful year. We've made some great milestones too. We've gone from 10,000 subs to over 20,000 subs. And I can't thank you all enough, really, for your support and everything you bring to the channel. So I wanted to say that right now. Okay, thank you to all of you. I'm eternally grateful for all of you. And, and I'm going to try to get to 30K in 2025, maybe even 40K if we can. We'll see. We will see. But let's get into this right now. Okay, this is going to be my final live stream of the new year of 2024, unless something crazy happens. But tomorrow night will be New Year's Eve, so if I go live at all, it'll be earlier in the day. It won't be tomorrow night. So, but let's make sure that everybody's 2025 is better than everybody's 2024. So, let's smack that like button, gang. Let's try to get over 100 likes in less than 5 minutes if we can. We'll see. And shout out to everybody in the chat, and I'll get to the comments as well. But we're going to talk about, the title, Bregman or Arenado or Kim or Lowe or Diaz or Oswaldo, DJ, Peraza, right? Who gets third base or even second base? Okay, Hector should be joining me from Uptown Sports soon, so stay tuned for that as well. We'll get his input too, and but we're gonna go over this, we'll go over all the options here. Let's get the second base first. Let's get right into it. Second base. I mean, the free agent options seem to be Ha-Seong Kim, right? We've talked about him, and as of today, there's multiple articles, and even Sporting News today has Jurickson Profar now being talked about at greater length when it comes to the Yankees, in the Yankees universe. So he seems to be another option being considered. Now, he would cost more than Ha-Seong Kim, obviously, but that could happen. My guess they would have to clear up some payroll to do that, which lends you to the Marcus Stroman trade or Trent Grisham trade or whatnot. You try to figure out how to do that. But with that said, those seem to be the free agent options, the most logical ones for second base, right? Now let's move down to trade options, okay? Brandon Lowe from the Tampa Bay Rays. I want to give a shout out to my man Mike Manz at Fortran Express. I haven't thought about him, like Xavier Edwards from the Marlins, young, dynamic player, and I started looking into him today. And he's got a tool set. I mean, he's generally a shortstop, but could he play second base? Maybe. He's a quick young guy. Quick young guy. He's got good back-to-ball skills, a lot of speed, athleticism. He plays multiple positions. He's got versatility. He could be I don't know if he's available, but he could be a trade option as well from the Marlins. Okay? And then, obviously, Bo Bichette from the Toronto Blue Jays is another potential trade option for the Yankees. I don't know if it's going to happen, but he's available that we know. And we do know that. So whether the Blue Jays trade him to the Yankees, I have no idea. My guess they probably want to trade him to the National League, but you never know. You never know. Okay? And obviously in-house options, Oswaldo Peraza, DJ LeMahieu, Oswaldo Cabrera. Right off the bat, I cannot see the Yankees going with any one of these guys to be their starter. Okay? I think the bench needs to be fortified. Okay? I think Oswaldo Cabrera needs to be on the bench, and probably Ben Rice needs to be on the bench. At least those two guys, and then whoever the backup catcher is going to be, and then a roster spot available for one other person, maybe an outfielder, whether it be Trent Grisham if he's still here, or even the guy they acquired a couple days ago. Okay, why am I drawing a blank on his name? I forgot his name. Brennan Davis. Brennan Davis again. It's another one. He's got good bat-to-ball skills, good power, good speed. He needs to stay healthy though. So we could have a better bench. We need to have a better bench than we did last year. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. All of yous. I see Steels, Mazza, Jonathan, all these. Consiglietti. Ryan, but there he is. Ryan Beck's in the house. What's up, brother? Duke Ellis. He's another one in AAA. That's right. He's one of the fastest guys in the whole baseball. So would I be surprised if he's in there? Nope. I would not be surprised. Wouldn't be offended either. So, Hayden, John, Ollies, Milton. What is going on? What is going on? So that's pretty much the lineup for second base. Now let's move to third base, okay? Obviously, free agent options, Alex Bregman and Jurickson Profar can play third base or second base. So He has the positional versatility. Obviously, Bregman is the big expensive name on a free agent market. I don't see him. I don't know if I don't know if he's going to sign with anybody until Roki Sasaki situation is resolved, because there's a lot of teams in on Roki right now. Okay, what did we hear about today? That he specifically asked teams that were going to meet with him to not bring players to the meeting. We found that out today. So, and they didn't, which is good. Now he's back in Japan, trying to figure out what the next round's going to be. He wanted to give everybody a level playing field the first initial meeting. Now he'll come back and decide who he wants to meet with in the next round. So step 2, and I don't think anything's going to happen until probably January 15th anyway. That's when the money resets and the signing period starts anyway internationally. So Bregman and Profar, free agent. Trade options, Nolan Arenado. We found out today that reporting is saying that not a single person in the Yankees is interested in Arenado. So this could be smoke being blown up through our ears and up our butts, for all we know. Okay, we're hearing a lot of speculation. Well, somehow Cashman's going to do this, and I don't know. Now, could he defy everybody on the team? So the reporting keeps changing on Nolan Arenado. Okay, what I did see some footage of him during this past week, early this week, of him in the cage. Saw some live footage of him in the cage, and his bat speed was the same as Aaron Judge's was. So I'll at least leave that out there. So it's up to us to decide how we want to feel about that. But yeah, Roki did give teams homework. Yes, he did. What homework? I don't know. Backup catcher. I mean, I did a video on the other day on the backup catcher options, but we still have in-house options too. I feel better about the in-house options at backup catcher than I do about the infield. I really do. And the guys that we're really looking forward to, like George Lombard and Roderick Harris, they're not ready yet. So they're not options right now. Lorenzo, Anthony, Davey, Jesse. What is good, everybody? William. All right, 76 likes, gang. We got 190 people here. Let's rock and roll. Let's get past 100 likes, gang. Hayden. All right, Stephen B. I don't know if we're going to go a 40-man roster for catcher, Stephen B. Yes. But I think we're going to go out of the franchise for another bat. I think it needs to be a major league player. Okay? Not somebody with a prospect who can be good later. I think they want to get somebody up here who can, contribute right away. Where do I think Arenado? I don't know, Jake. That's a good question. He might stay in St. Louis for all we know. I don't know. Tyler Talia. I don't see the Yankees giving Alex Bregman $150, $175 million at all. So, and especially not at his age. I just can't see that happening. There's been some talk this week about from a friend of his that the chatter is picking up from a friend of Bregman's. The chat is picking up about him going to Detroit. Hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. No, we will see. Anthony, appreciate you, man. Why does Judge seem to fat? That's a good question, David. I don't know. I mean, he started to pick it up, in late in the World Series. Hopefully, that springboards him to the next year. But I don't know. That's just something he needs to work on, I suppose. This happens to a lot of folks, unfortunately, David. This happened to Clayton Kershaw. It was like the first decade of his career. He sucked in the playoffs, and then he started becoming good in the playoffs. He was like he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I have no idea. You think the Yankees feel last spot with a minor leaguer CDB? Like who? And why? I say, well, it depends. I mean, I see Jazz moving to second if they bring in somebody so that, there's another trade option, but it hasn't, confirmed being available yet, but it's Brendan Donovan. And I would do anything to get that guy here. He would be my third base option or second base option. But I like him because he complements Jazz. They could mix and match second and third. Positional versatility. So, but I don't know if Donovan is available yet. We don't know. There's some chatter yesterday about Yankees quietly pursuing him, which if it's the case, yeah. If it's the key, yeah. If it's true, yeah. Final piece for what, Michael, and why? What does Bregman do for the Yankees? Yes, Hayden. The Yankees just made the Paul Goldschmidt signing official, so now he's officially added to the payroll. He wasn't before. That's why we had that. People were saying 283. You have to add his 12.5 now. Takes them up to 290. Was it 295, 296, and then you add Johnny Loizaga, and then they're over 300. So that's where they're at now. Yeah, unfortunately, Peraza has a hard time staying healthy, but his bat doesn't translate enough for Serdar at the major league level. Neither does Oswaldo Cabrera. None of their bats are translating enough based on what the Yankees need at the major league level. So Peraza's out of options too. I think Oswaldo should be on the bench. He should be. I want it to be our Ben Zobrist, our utility guy. How is he the missing piece of the championship? Bregman. How so? And yeah, Donovan does hit leadoff. He can be our leadoff hitter. So can Xavier Edwards. So can Hassan Kim. So a lot of these guys are represent good fits for leadoff too. And the same guys that are in-house options for second base are also in-house options for third base. Profar, DJ, Oswaldo, Cabrera. DJ can't stay healthy. Can't really hit that much. Can't run. So he's not going to be a starter. We know this already, right? And of course, Brian Cashman's not going to rule everybody out. He doesn't do that. So, but we know based on their actions, not their words, that he won't be starting. Just like Oswaldo and Oswald Peraza, I can't see them starting either. So, Oswaldo displayed some power, but unfortunately, he doesn't do enough based on what the Yankees need. The Yankees need somebody who's going to be an upgrade over them. There's a couple guys on here that are upgrades over him, and I think that's where they're going to go. But we'll see what they do. I mean, we know that they're looking. So, yeah, Kim is a good defender. He's coming off shoulder procedure, so you have to take that with a grain of salt too. Got to give him a little bit of time, but he could be our leadoff hitter. Good contact, bat to ball skills. Good. He has some power, some contact skills, as do some of these other guys. So, Demon D, what's good, brother? What is good? So, yeah, I mean, could there be a Marlins trade? I don't know. We'll see. And the problem with Bregman, too, is that his bat would not play that well in Yankee Stadium, which is left field. I mean, the Houston Stadium is much more friendly to his bat than Yankee Stadium would be. So that's something that needs to be factored in, too. Right? Stop with, what do you mean stop a good defender, Starbro? What does that mean? Yeah, Bregman's got good defense. So does Brendan Donovan. So does Hassan Kim. So does Profar. So a lot of these other guys too. Nico Horner. And Horner could be a leadoff hitter. And now the thing with Horner too is that we now know that the Cubs are looking at guys like Josh Rojas and a couple other guys to play the infield. And again, two things here. Okay, if the Cubs get another infielder, maybe Nico Horner becomes available, and maybe that he jumps at the front of my list if he becomes available, ahead of Kim, ahead of Brandon Lowe. He jumps at the top of my list for second base. Okay. On the flip side, if Bregman goes to Detroit, then they've already brought in Gleyber Torres. Does that make Trey Sweeney available? Does that make Jace Jung, the younger brother of Josh Jung, available at third base? Because if it does, that's another option there. So I'm staying away from Alec Bohm. Got a good bat, but I think he's going to become too expensive and probably a little bit of a problem here. So I'm going to pass that. And Bregman's price has to go down, but we're not going to. Nobody, at least the Yankees are not going to touch Bregman until they figure out what's going on with Roki Sasaki. And I agree too. I don't know if the Yankees are going to do business with Boris, and Bregman is a Boris client. And again, if Nico Horner could be a super good leadoff hitter, yeah. No, that's the other key too here. Ketel Marte's older, but he's a decent option. But I would take Horner over Marte. I would even take Hassan Kim Marte as well. So, no news right now. Well, the Paul Goldschmidt signing became official this evening, so now he's officially a Yankee. So, Matt Vierling, that name's been talked about today too, is another option for Detroit as well, especially if they sign Alex Bregman. A couple of guys become available. So I don't know if I'm not ruling Roki out yet, but we'll see. If Horner is available, then I would be. Yeah, he's the top of my list for second base. Yeah. Yep. He may come out east too, Chocolate Me. He may go Midwest, Roki. We just don't know. about Roki. We don't know yet. And yeah, you did, Mazza. You did mention him. Profar, no. We just know that his name is being circulated now in Yankees universe today. There's multiple articles today specifically. So Schmidt, Jones, Arias, Warren is no. That's way too much for Brendan Donovan. That's way too much. But you're on the right track, but that's way too much. Goldstrom's going to wear 46. Okay. All right. That's cool. Who's they? Jason, now who's they? When you said they said today the Yankees are, who's they? Because the Yankees didn't say that. Well, you know, the reporting said today the Yankees are not interested at all in Arenado. But who's they? Stroman, Peraza, Arias, Warren, Cabrera for Edwards and Nardi. You might be able to get that done, Mazza. That's a solid. Let me put this up. You know, think about this trade, gang. Clark Schmidt. I'm sorry, Marcus Stroman, Oswaldo Peraza, Roderick Arias, Will Warren, Everson Pereira. You get a versatile position player, and you get a reliever with 4 controllable years. You can get him for that. Mm-hmm. I'd probably sign up for that, Mazza. I like that one. I like that. Lenny Randall. Who's Lenny Randall? Graham. Lenny Randall. Who's that? Boris thought, yeah, I mean, well, you know. Yeah. Thought he could get the Yankees to really go crazy. He got them to 760 on Soto, so, and then the Mets just went to 800, so right there. So, but besides Tim Hill and the obvious Tanner Scott, I mean, they're looking at Eli, they're looking at Andrew Chafin too, so he's another lefty reliever that they're looking at right now. Profar had a much better year last year, Jay Warehouse. Much better year. The Yankees are interested in Tanner Scott, yes. Yep. You're going to have to take Jones or Lombard out of there, Sean. One of those guys you might have to take out of there. I don't think there's no way they'll get both of those guys with Schmidt for Brendan Donovan. Probably 3 of those 4. I'm a hard pass on Correa. I mean, he's got the villain thing that no, this is right, Ray Miller. I said this. He's eligible for. It's not a minor league contract. It's essentially they call it an amateur contract. So he'd be subject to 3 years of pre-arb and 3 years of arb. I think he could still be at the major league level. He'll just be classified with 6 years. It's not BS. It's true because he got posted before he turned 25. So if he waited until he was 25, then he would have been eligible for 200, 300, the big money like Yamamoto last year. But he hasn't reached eligible age yet for posting. So that's why he's subject to these 6 cheap years. Just like Ohtani did the same thing, 6 years of pre-arb and 6 years of arb before he cashed in. So I said that right. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jose. But the relief pitcher market hasn't really been established yet, Jose. So, yep. Tanner Scott's going to get up. He's going to get. There's going to be a bidding war for Tanner Scott once that market kind of establishes itself. I mean, you have a little bit of trade market so far, relievers. Yankees have acquired two big relievers via trade. So, Lenny Randle. Rest in peace, Lenny Randle, man. Beat up his manager. Oh, my God. Well, rest in peace, my man. Even in North Carolina. No, it's North California. Excuse me. Northern California, Harold. Northern Cal is in the house. That was good. Hall of Fame X-Ranger. Okay. X-Ranger Center. He's got some tenure here. Joel Sherman said they're not interested in Bregman. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, Bregman's not my first pick anyway, so I don't know why people think he's going to guarantee them the World Series. I can't see that. I understand he's got some clutch genes in the postseason. He's solid, but he's not on top of my list. But again, that's just my list. I don't speak for everybody else. No. Yeah, Hayden. I don't listen to random people on the Twitter sphere. Hayden, yeah, exactly. Todd, I think Chafin and Tim Hill. I think the Yankees can get both of them. I think the Yankees can get both. Well, the Yankees will be spending money on the bat, yeah. That's just the way that it is, Jimmy. We're in the holidays too right now, Christmas and New Year's, so things kind of dial down a little bit, and then they'll pick up again in January. That's just the way that it goes, unfortunately, in baseball. So kind of like it's up and down like that. So, and now that Corbin Burns is signed with the Diamondbacks, there's still a lot of pitchers that haven't been signed yet. Nick Pivetta, Jack Flaherty, and some of these other guys too. Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, even the older guys. So there's quite a few guys. The problem with Correa, Correa's got 4 years left on 4 guaranteed years at like $31 million per year, at $32 million, and then he has 4 option years after that, with their vesting option years. And it starts at 575 at bats and drops by 4 at bats each. There are 25 at bats each year, 575 to 550 to 525 to 500. Then there's also other criteria. You got to fit like Silver Slugger and MVP, top 5 or something like that. He's got to hit that criteria in order for these vesting options trigger each time. So you're gonna be taking at least 4 years at that. If you want to do that, okay, but I would not. I would stay away from those other 4 years. Yeah, but he's also had trouble staying healthy recently, particularly, unfortunately. So he's got an elite glove. He's got a clutch gene, but I think the Yankees would be better suited elsewhere. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have the Yankees announced for Arenado? Well, that was a trade, Amic man. That was a trade. It wasn't a signing. That was announced, yeah. I mean, the trade is official. The Reds have already announced Jose Trevino, and the Yankees Fernando Cruz, and the catcher is I forgot his name. Alex Jackson, I think it is. Yeah. Bro, appreciate you too, man. No doubt, of course, man. I stand up for the people in this chat. I stand up for all my fellow content creators, and appreciate all of you, man. And for someone if anybody in here that's not subscribed to the channel, I ask that you do, and you come join the family. And just turn on your notifications. Please make sure you subscribe to the 4 Train Express and the Strike Zone with NFE and Pinstripe Chronicles. I did a whole video on that. Jackson Roberts proposal and predictions. I did a whole video on that. Jackson could be the backup catch, but I have a feeling JC Escara probably has the edge. I did a video on backup catcher options too. Yeah, the New York Rangers, man, they gotta get right, man. That's for sure. Paul Skeens, yeah, imagine that. Paul Skeens would be freaking nuts. I don't know about that. Should have. There's no way they would have gotten all those guys. This is the place, Ryan. This is the place, buddy. The only place for it. It's good to see you back, man. It's good to see you getting it in, man. I'm happy that you're here, bro. John Jr. is a good question. I mean, it depends on who this last guy is. Let's just say Ha-Seong Kim is who they get. Then he would be the leadoff guy for me. And then I probably bat with what we have. Cody Bellinger second, Judge third, Goldschmidt fourth, Stanton fifth, and then I have Jazz. What else we got? Volpe, Austin Wells, and there's like the lineup gets so much longer. And I really think it depends. Like it depends. Like if you get a Nico Horner, he could be the leadoff guy, and I would bat Bellinger second, right? If you got a Profar, there are situations where you could back Bellinger fourth and Goldschmidt sixth and guy like Profar second. So that's kind of the basic layout of the lineup. It really depends on who this final bat's going to be because it helps me line up put the lineup forth a little bit better, in my opinion. And once they do get this bat, I'm definitely going to give you my lineup projection based on this new guy that they bring in. So because I want to see who it is and how he would fit. But that's how I do John Jr. It's keeping it simple right there. But once I get that, once we get news on the other bat, I'll definitely put out something on the lineup. Mm-hmm. Judge is a farm guy. Yankees drafted him. And Judge is homegrown. We drafted Judge. Happy New Year too, Beagle Dad. Happy New Year, my friend. 148 likes. All right, let's see if we can get to 200 likes, gang. Which of these options were probably Chafin and Hill, and if I'm being honest, Mazza, I'd be okay with that. Lions and Niners are tied at 21, just under 3. I think the Lions got to pull this off. They have to pull this one off. They have to pull this one off somewhere. Dude, if Bregman signs with the Tigers and Jace Jung becomes available, I would be all over that guy. So a lot of guys are locked in on Roki right now. And that's going to tie up a lot of the rest of the signings. That's one reason why things are slow right now, too. Because we're waiting for him to sign, so then we can figure out where the hell. Who doesn't get him is going to go after Flaherty. Who doesn't get him is going to go after Pavetta and some of these other guys, right? After Verlander or Scherzer and blah, blah, blah. So that's the other reason why things are slowing down. This posting period is 45 days. But I like Jace Jung. I like his brother Josh with the Texas Rangers. They're both stud third baseman. I got my man Hector from Uptown Sports in the facility. What's up? The fly guy.
Jason, how you doing, brother? Sorry about the lateness. I just got out of dinner with my girl, but I had to show up and show some love, my guy. What's good, bro?
You, man. Yeah, we're just talking about options here. Like we went over the trade options, the free agency options, and the in-house options for second base and third base. So, give me your thoughts. I mean, this is what I had so far. I'll give you a quick rundown. Second base, free agent, you got Ha-Seong Kim and Jurickson Profar. Trade, Brandon Lowe, Xavier Edwards from the Marlins, Bo Bichette, and Nico Horner if he becomes available. The Cubs are pursuing Jose Rojas now too, Josh Rojas. So that could make Horner available. And then in-house, obviously, Oswaldo, DJ, and Oswaldo. And then there are also the in-house options for third base. The trade options for third base are Nolan Arenado and hopefully Brendan Donovan. But we're hearing now that the Yankees are not interested at all. Nobody's interested in Nolan Arenado, but you never know. So, and then the free agent options are Alex Bregman and Jurickson Profar. So, what are your thoughts? I mean, I was saying if If Bregman signs with the Detroit Tigers, it creates maybe another trade option. It could be Trey Sweeney, it could be Jace Young, obviously. And obviously, if Josh Young becomes available from Texas Rangers, he's another guy. I mean, Jock Peterson became official today to signing with the Texas Rangers. So maybe that makes Josh Young available. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say first off, shout out your chat. Highlander in the chat saying no Verdugo talk. Hector, you got it, bro. No Verdugo talk is gonna happen around here, right? Shout out the chat. If you guys can smack the like button for my brother Jason. I think if you're the New York Yankees, if you want to be taken serious, especially after losing Juan Soto to the stepchildren over in Queens to the Mets, if you want to be taken serious, you cannot go with an in-house option at third base. You have to go out there, whether that's via free agency or whether that's via the trade market. You have to bring in an option for third base that's outside the organization. Now, who's it going to be? I'm not sure. But before we even figure out who's it going to be, we have to recognize and we have to acknowledge that we cannot have an internal option to start the season at third base.
I'm with you 100% on that. I don't think any one of them is going to be an upgrade over any of these guys that are available in the trade market or free agency. And that's the key. Like at this point, we need a major league ready piece right here to complement Goldschmidt, whose signing officially became official a couple hours ago. So he's officially with the Yankees now. Um, and and with Cody Bellinger, like we need somebody who's going to complement these guys and lengthen this lineup. And Oswaldo's been given a chance. I think he'll be a perfect guy on the bench. I keep saying I want him to be our Ben Zobrist, right? To back up the infield, to back up the outfield, to back up whoever, right? And he'll be a perfect bench piece. Just like I think Ben Rice would be a perfect bench piece too. Like those two guys, I think should be on the bench, right? And then the backup catcher, and then whoever's going to be the fourth person, whether it be Trent Grisham or this guy Brennan Davis, who's got elite bat to ball skills and power. So he's just got to stay healthy. But I'm with you too. I don't think an in-house option is going to be the way that they do this.
I think when it comes to Oswaldo, you know how I feel about that guy. That's my man. I love Oswaldo. Every time I'm at Yankee Stadium, he always gives me about like 5-10 minutes on the field. But when it comes to Oswaldo, his best ability is the fact that he can play every position on the diamond, besides like, catcher and starting pitcher. But if he had to be a catcher, I know he could be a catcher. But he has the ability to play almost every position on the diamond, minus like one or two. So one, that's his best ability, and I don't want to take him away from that. If you stick him at third base, you get rid of what makes Oswaldo Cabrera so valuable, and it's the fact that at any time, if you have to pinch run or pinch hit late in the game, he could be the defensive replacement. If you stick him at a position for 140, 162 games, you take away the best versatility of Oswaldo Cabrera, and he may get lost in the shuffle because I don't think he has the bat to contribute 160 to 140 games at the major league level. He has the glove. He has the ability to pinch run. He has the ability to come up in a tricky situation, maybe come through with a clutch hit. But to stick him at one position for the whole season, I think you're taking away what makes Oswaldo Cabrera so special, and it's his versatility.
And you just invited you just triggered a question. Oswaldo Cabrera is a perfect backup for a lot of these guys, right? But if you start Oswaldo Cabrera, who's going to back him up?
Yeah.
We don't have anybody who could back up Oswaldo Cabrera if you start him, right? And any of these guys that they bring in, we're not going to be backing him up. They would be starting. So that's another way to look at it too. I think he's better off as our Ben Zobrist, our Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, even like, and I see the comparison when it comes to Ben Zobrist, but I like to view Oswaldo Cabrera as how Ronald Torreyes was a spark plug off the bench for that young Yankee team that we fell in love with years ago with
Yep.
the Baby Bombers, right? Ronald Torreyes on the bench with the little fake camera doing the little interviews when people were hitting home runs. That made that version of the Yankees so special. And I think Oswaldo Cabrera is that type of spark plug or that type of energy off the bench. He's a great human being. Like I said, every time I see him at Yankee Stadium, he's amazing. He done given me so many different interviews. Oswaldo is great when it comes to interacting with fans, interacting with kids at the stadium. He's amazing.
I agree, man. And again, he's always got a smile on his face. He's a pro. He plays well, does what the Yankees need. I do think that's what makes him unique to the Yankees. for this team. So I hope he stays there. What do
Yeah,
you think? What's going on with Brandon Lowe? We're not really hearing much about what's going on with the trade market for infield hasn't been established yet, right? We don't know the way the market's gonna react to, just like the bullpen market. We don't know what the bullpen market's going to be. Yankees acquired a couple of bullpen guys in the trades, but like we don't know. Dana Scott, Hoffman, Estevez, they're all still free agents. So, and all these other guys, Profar, Kim, they're all free agents too. So the market has been, and I do think from the pitching market, we have to wait until Roki Sasaki makes his decision before we start getting action on Jack Flaherty and some of these other teams, because teams that miss out on Roki are going to go after these other guys.
agree. 100% agree. And even if you're a team that realistically, you're out of the like, realistically, you have no chance to get Roki Sasaki. You still have to be in on him because it's just the nature of the industry. You have international money, so you have to try, even though you may have a 90% chance of him not signing. You never want to not put your bid in and potentially lose out on generational talent. Now, for me, when it comes to Roki Sasaki, I think everybody keeps pointing to the Dodgers. I don't think it's the Dodgers from when I was at the winter meetings and talking to his agent, and how his agent pointed out that Roki Sasaki wants to go to a smaller market or will prefer a smaller market because of how he was treated by the Japanese media in Japan, not the Japanese media that's in America. He wanted to make that distinction, but also when you look at his connection with the San Diego Padres, his connection with like the Seattle Mariners, I just think it's more realistic for him to wind up with one of those West Coast teams instead of the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets. But if he lands with the Yankees, like I said on my TikTok video I did yesterday, if he lands with the Yankees, it is what it is. But I just don't see as that realistic of an option when you look at the other two teams that I mentioned.
Yeah, and to your point too, like if the Yankees don't sign Roki Sasaki, they're going to pivot really quickly and spend international money right out the gate real fast. Just like they pivoted from Juan Soto quick, they're going to pivot from Roki Sasaki quick, and they're gonna allocate that money real fast. Get some position players, but whatever they're going to get, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And but when it comes to the trade market, right, to the whole Arenado thing, like you said, different people are saying that the Yankees are out on Arenado. Joe Sermon has said that he didn't get anything from any of his Yankee people saying how the Yankees are in on Arenado, and the same thing with Bregman. From what Joe Sermon said and what people in the industry, have been saying, shout out to Chris Kreiser. He was real good at the winter meetings. He said that, Alex Bregman, his bat is not built for Yankee Stadium for 81 games.
It's not.
And the Yankees front office aren't in love with Alex Bregman, like they were more in love with Christian Walker. And they didn't want to give up a draft pick for Christian Walker. What would make anybody think they'll give it up for Alex Bregman? So I think it's going to come down to the trade market. Who is the candidate? I don't know. Maybe the Yankees want to, bring down the asking price for Nolan Arenado, but I think the Yankees are stuck between a rock and a hard spot right now when you look at Marcus Stroman's money on the books. Like the Yankees are handcuffed right now because no team wants to take on that money.
Yeah, and this is all due respect to Sherman and Jack Curry and all these guys. There's one guy that knows more about the Yankees than those guys. It's Brian Cashman. Okay, he knows more about what's going on in the Yankees than all those guys do, and he always will. And he was not going to leak to these guys. He doesn't leak to anybody, Brian Cashman. So they're not saying this stuff. We're getting leaks of stuff. I don't really rely on the Twitter sphere either for news, right? So until Cashman says, yeah, not our guy, not a fit here, then I'm not ruling anybody out. Anybody. It
Yeah.
could be it could be Arenado at half the price for all we know. I have no idea. I would prefer Brendan Donovan, yes, but if he's not available, what are we going to do? Like Brandon Lowe, he's another guy for second base. Maybe he's an option too. We're not hearing much on any of these guys right now. So
Yeah.
um
The reason why for me when it comes to Roki, the reason why I have the Padres ahead of the Seattle Mariners is the fact that if the National League had the DH, at the time, the Padres general manager, or the person that's a part of the Padres front office, I'm forgetting this man's name. He did a great job at Hector knows more than Cashman. David, how you doing, my guy? No, that the I forgot the person in the Padres front office, but he did a great
Preller?
job at
DJ Preller?
recruiting. Yeah, at Perler when it comes to no, at the no, not him, but somebody else. But at the time,
Friedman?
did a real good job of recruiting Shohei Otani. If the National League had the DH at the time, Otani would have went to the Padres instead of the Angels.
Is it Friedman?
Not Freeman. I'll find the guy's name and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, man. I mean, look. I mean, I think Otani's where he should be right now. So, and well, let him do his thing. And I don't even know. We'll see what type of pitching we get from him next year. They've already lost Walker Buehler, but they're replacing him with Shohei Otani. So they might lose Jack Flaherty. They're going to replace him with Blake Snell. So it's not going to like they're going to miss much of a beat on the pitching side. And they got Glasnow for a full season now too. So they'll be okay. And they've added, who do they have? They added. They brought back Teoscar. They've added what's his name, Michael Conforto. So I think they'll be okay. But I
Yeah,
do agree.
I think the Dodgers will be okay. I think when it comes to the Yankees roster right now, currently constructed, yes, it sucked to lose Juan Soto. Like that sucked. You know, Jason, you and I, we was on
Mhm.
that night. I jumped on SNY with Dexter Henry that night to break it down. It sucked losing Juan Soto, but when you look at how the front office pivoted and the additions that we have now on the roster, there's no way that you want me to believe that this team currently constructed is not better than the team that lost that fifth game or sixth game in the World Series,
Yeah.
right? I think this roster right now is better than it was when we, made the last out
And
at Yankee Stadium.
yeah, and to CWE's point, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. People were accusing the Yankees of if they would sign Soto, they would do nothing afterward. That's exactly what the Mets have done,
I ain't want to say it.
right? It's
And
exactly
you could point at, oh, we re-signed Sean Manaea. That's not an addition. You already had him on your team.
yeah. I mean, Frankie Montez, okay. Clay Holmes, okay, but you know, so let's just be, let's be real with that, folks. And thank you for pointing it out, CWE, because I've been saying it for weeks now. And it's just the Mets need pitching. The Mets need pitching. Okay, they still need to add somebody. And there was a lot of talk about them potentially getting Corbin Burns. That didn't happen. He's going to Diamondbacks now. So, and they still have some work to do too. And I think the Yankees pitching is better than the Mets. I do. So, and I think the Yankees bullpen is better than the Mets. So, and we'll see we'll see who we get, right, for second or third. We'll see if the Mets have to bring back Pete Alonso too. If Pete Alonso goes somewhere else, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to have to overpay for Santander probably if Alonso leaves the Mets.
That's a bad. It's to me. I'm more interested to see where Anthony Santander lands because when you look at his offensive numbers, 40 home runs. If this was 2005, 2006, he would have been signed. But in
Mhm.
2024, when you look at his strikeout numbers, his whiff numbers, it's going to be interesting to see where Anthony Santander signs. I don't think it's with the Baltimore Orioles because the Orioles they have nightmares of Chris Davis, and that's what Anthony Santander reminds them of. Is when they look at his stats and his defensive numbers.
I'm keeping the Nationals in the back of my mind for Santander. I'm keeping him in the back of my mind. I mean, they just added Josh Bell. They traded for
What
Nate
team? I didn't hear you. You cut out. What team?
Washington Nationals. They got a lot of money to spend, and they're looking to be aggressive. They just added Josh Bell yesterday. They traded for Nate Lowe from Texas, so you get your first base DH combination there. They had a big bat like Santander. What a lot of these young guys, they might make a little bit of noise. They might get
Yeah,
a wild card run, maybe, maybe.
yeah.
Um,
They got James Wood, a nice young talent.
yeah,
Yeah, the Washington Nationals, they have a bright future. And you've seen them in the past willing to spend money.
yeah,
When you look at Jason Worth, when he hit free agency, right? They spent the money. Max Scherzer, they spent the money on him. So they have money. They're willing to spend money.
yeah, yeah. And they got to get out of Steven Strasburg's contract, but it is what it is, right? I mean, they could sign Flaherty too, for all we know. They could sign Flaherty and Santander, and it will cost less than they paid for Scherzer.
Yeah, shout out to Jonathan in the chat doing his fucking job. Jonathan throwing the likes to the chat. Jonathan, my guy, I love you, baby. Folks in the chat, smack the like button, hit the subscribe button for my guy Jason 161 River Ave.
Yeah, let's get past 200 likes. We got 183, 17 to go. 17 to go, man.
How are you feeling? Because I see people in the chat, and shout out to hold on, I want to say Cruise Control. Shout out to Cruise Control for throwing Profar in the chat. Shout out to CWE, Yudo Yosef, Joe Snow. I am Big Buddies in the building. Hayden Badars in the building. What? How do you feel about Jerickson Profar, bro?
For those that don't know, I said it earlier. His name is being circulated now a little bit more aggressively in the Yankees.
The big Japple's in the building, my guy Japple.
Yudel, Mazel Tov, my friend. How you doing? Shalom. Profar is another option. If you look at the top 10 baseball players in on-base percentage, he's like 6 or 7. Profar. So if you want to replace him, one of the things that we replaced some of, but not all of, was the on-base percentage of component of Juan Soto, which was second best in baseball behind only Aaron Judge. So, and for those that, if anybody noticed Paul Goldschmidt, he might be old, but his on-base percentage is 50 points higher than Christian Walker. 50 points higher than Christian Walker. So, and he doesn't interfere with their ability to make moves next year either. So, he's a guy, I would consider him. I would consider him and Jerickson Profar and Ha-Seong Kim for second base. But if Nico Horner becomes available, he becomes the top of my list for second base. To me. That's the kind of the way I look at it. I'm still keeping Jerickson Profar in my mind too, because he's a switch hitter. He can represent what the Yankees need. Again, he has some contact skills. He can hit for power, and he used to be the number one prospect in all baseball. So, and he's had a pretty decent career. So,
yeah.
There's other guys that haven't been made available, like Gavin Lux from the Dodgers, like Bo Bichette. He might get traded to the Dodgers. If he is, then does Gavin Lux become available? I don't know. I have no idea. So Ha-Seong Kim's the other one too. The 25-year-old guy from Korea. He's another one. But Ha-Seong Kim is more major league tested, and he's proven in the major leagues too. So, Ha-Seong Kim would need an adjustment period too, which I don't know if you need somebody who can come in and make an impact, I think, pretty quickly. Because Ha-Seong Kim, I don't know if he's an upgrade over Oswaldo Cabrera. So we need somebody who's going to be a higher level than Cabrera. So Ha-Seong Kim, I think, is a better option. But again, Horner, if he's available, I'm all over Horner. Nico Horner. What about you, bro? Profar?
I'm stumped right now trying to figure out. Graham, Mr. Highlander, just asked me a question. The last person to hit 30 home runs in Oracle Park, I think he's talking about San Francisco. The Giants, they haven't had anyone hit 30 home runs in a season since Barry Bonds. I know that. That's a Snapple fact for you guys if you didn't know that. I hope I answered it right. But no, for me, when it comes to Jerickson Profar, I see the appeal because he had a great season last year, an amazing season for San Diego. Like you said, he was the number one prospect in all of Major League Baseball. But the first 2 months of the season were tremendous for Jerickson Profar. The rest of the year, I think he hit about 250 or 260s. And what version of Jerickson Profar are we going to get? Are we going to get the Jerickson Profar from the first 2 months of the season that hit 350, or are we going to get the 250 version of Jerickson Profar that finished the season in San Diego? That's my only worries about Jerickson Profar. Will he be an upgrade over whatever we had at third base? Absolutely, and that's no shade to Jazz Chisholm. It's just Jazz Chisholm never played that position, and it's unfair just to throw him in that position in the middle of the season when you're trying to compete for a playoff spot. So I would rather Jazz Chisholm play second base, his natural position he came up as. I know he was drafted as a shortstop. They converted him to a second baseman, but I would put Jazz at second. And if we had to go Jerickson Profar, I wouldn't mind it because of his switch hitting ability, the fact that he could play third base, second base, first base, left field, right field. He is another version of Oswaldo Cabrera. It's just he can hit.
True. Hayden's got a true record. What year is the first baseball game ever played? Shit, I'm gonna say 1890.
The first official, I would say 18 1893 or 1894?
I'm gonna go 1896. Are we close, Aiden? Or were we like way the hell off? Ken, what's happening, Ken? Yeah,
How you
Ken,
doing, Ken?
there he is. Barzini's in the play. 1869. Jesus.
Ooh.
Damn. Yeah, we were right. We were definitely way off. 1869. Roki. Ken, tell Jason where you think Roki's going. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think he's going to the Dodgers. I just don't. 18 Santana has not signed with the Angels, but I did hear they're interested in him. They could. I mean, if they sign him, would they move somebody like Taylor Ward?
Fun fact, rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. But Jimmy Carter was around for the invention of toast.
Jesus. Mention the toast. Toast. Shit. Oh my god. Oh man. Wow. This guy's lived toast. He's lived through this Haktua girl. He's lived through it all.
Yeah, he lived through toast and hot tour.
Evan has a need a copy of Ken Burns. I have not read Ken Burns' Baseball, McMahon. I've not read that. What about a try? I can't see Andre Munoz being traded from the Mariners. I can see maybe John Duran being traded from the Twins.
Yeah, I don't see Andres Munoz getting traded from Seattle.
Yeah, I can't see him being traded. John Duran, another option potentially.
Yeah, that's another one. But then again, if you're Minnesota, why would you want to trade that arm, 100 miles per hour out of your bullpen? I know they like to say that nowadays everybody's throwing 100 miles per hour out of the pen, but that's a special arm.
Yeah, and I'd rather get a lefty in the pen at this point. We have all these writers. We have no lefties. So if we can get Tanner Scott, I'm all about Tanner Scott. But if we can't, I'll stick with Hill and Chafin. I'll settle for that. Those two guys in the bullpen. So I'll be all right with that too.
Yeah.
Ken, the first leaf. Ken, why you bringing all these facts, man? Quarter baseball came U.S. June 19th. That's my birthday, June 19th. 1846 at Elysian Fields in Hoboken, New Jersey. My God.
I've been trying to figure out why the hell would aliens want to go to New Jersey, and it's because they're baseball fans. They want to go see where the first game of baseball was ever played. That's the only reason why that they would travel all this way to go to fucking Jersey.
Who the hell? Who else? Why would anybody go to Hoboken anyway? So this is reason right here.
Anywho, Jay, before I go, I just want to ask you one more thing. When it comes to the bullpen, besides like Tim Hill, besides like the minor names like bringing back Tim Hill, you think the Yankees gonna do anything big, anything sexy, or you think that we're packed with what we got right now?
I think they're either going to bring in Tim Hill and Andrew Chafin, or they're gonna knock me on my ass and sign Tanner Scott.
Wow, you really think they get Tanner Scott?
They have to move Stroman to do it.
Yeah, and he's the only other, I would say, big free agent out that's not attached to a qualifying offer. So they won't have to lose any draft picks or any international money. It's straight money.
Yep, same. Him and Flaherty. Neither one of them is attached to a QO because they were traded at the deadline. So, if they move Stroman, they're adding a pitcher.
Oh, Hayden, no shade to Jersey, Hayden. I got family from the shore. I love Jersey. No shade, no shade.
I got married in Jersey, so yeah.
Yeah, I got family in Long Branch, Hayden. No shade.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I see. What are you seeing in the bullpen, bro?
I would love Tanner Scott. I would definitely love Tanner Scott, but I wouldn't be mad if they just bring back, Tim Hill. And if we could get Andrew Chafin, bring back Andrew Chafin. He has history pitching in the American League. So I wouldn't mind that. But Tanner Scott, that was a guy that you and we both wanted the Yankees to get at the trade deadline. We both were begging and screaming, but we didn't get him. And I think the asking price, like you said, is going to come down to the Yankees finding somebody who's going to take Marcus Stroman off their books. The question is, who is that team? I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, call up Oakland because they're being forced to spend money." I don't think it's gonna be Oakland. I just don't see the team. Maybe the Nationals because they're spending money and they need starting pitching. They need innings. Maybe the Nationals if they're willing to eat his money. But does that mean that the Yankees got to give up a top 30 prospect?
Yeah, when and you brought up Detroit too. His stats are really good in Detroit. Stroman's under 100,
Yeah,
under one
yeah.
year.
Amazing stats. Pitching at Comerica Ballpark is the name of at Comerica Ballpark. He
And
has amazing stats.
they need pitching. They have to add somebody behind freaking Tarek Skubal. So that's an option there. That's the one. Like if you can get Marcus Stroman, and I would give them Roderick Arias to get Jace Young back.
Ooh, one thing I would say is, if there was, first of all, I'm being a little bit selfish because I was hanging out with them yesterday. But Akil Badu from the Detroit Tigers, I was with him yesterday at a baseball camp that they had at Lincoln High School in Brooklyn. Him, the Palacio brothers, the Quares brothers, it was dope. Some other players from like the Nationals and Arizona Diamondbacks, real good time with the kids. But Akil Badu yesterday won me over the way that he was interacting with the kids and his knowledge of baseball, real dope guy. But if we had to go that trade route with Detroit, I don't want to give up Roderick Arias because I saw him last year at the Yankees minor league complex. But if you twist my arm and said that's the only way we could get off of that money and you guarantee that we sign Tanner Scott, we may have to do it, but they may have to take DJ.
Yeah, if you can you can get somebody to take DJ. My God, Woo. Yeah, that would be phenomenal if somebody gets somebody to take DJ. Man, shit, DJ and Stroman. That's like $35 million, man.
Oh, DJ and Stroman, I'm packing up Arias. I'm packing up Chase Hampton. You take both of those old bags. You go. You take whatever you want. Shout out to Jacob Petruzzi in the chat. I want to shout. You got to do one of the best chats out there, Jason. Of course, Jonathan is killing it. Mikey Mazza, Fort Train Express. Jay Snow is in the building. Davey Ham said Lincoln High School. He grew up around the corner. My guy. Jose Villagrote is in the building. CWE, Sean Browning, Lorenzo. Folks, smack the like button. My fault, Jay.
Didn't Stephon Marbury go to Lincoln?
Yeah, Stephon Marbury, Sebastian Telfair.
Yeah.
I grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and I remember going to watch Lance Stevenson play when he was in high school at Lincoln High School, right? So amazing time yesterday. The baseball program that they're building right now is tremendous. Like I said, they have Joshua Palacios. He knows those coaches, so it was a dope program that they did yesterday.
Concierge is not feeling the love from Hector. All right, okay.
Oh, I didn't see Consigliere. Yo, my fault, Joe. My fault. I'm so sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Perdóname.
Hey,
Perdóname.
my a guy that I went to high school with, his family owned the Blimpie franchise, and I used to work the Blimpie on Pennsylvania Avenue in East New York there. And when I was in high school, that's how I
Look
worked.
at look at Jason in the trenches in East New York. Look at
Yeah,
you.
yeah, baby. On the Pennsylvania Avenue, man. The Gringo rocking that place too, man.
Joe, my fault, Joe. I'm so sorry I didn't see you in the chat. Also, Happy New Year's. I know we're not there right now, but still Happy New Year's to you, Jason. Happy
Happy
New
New Year.
Year's to Joel. Happy New Year's to all of you beautiful people that are in the chat.
Yes, we love all you guys and gals. All of yous. So I appreciate all of yous for spending some time with us. This will be, unless something happens tomorrow, this will be the last live stream of the year. So we're gonna kick it off. I mean, it's really a happy New Year. I will spend New Year's Eve with my wife tomorrow night, my girls. So, but again, if something happens, I'm gonna put something out, a little snippet of something out there for you, so we can celebrate the New Year one way or the other. But
Same. If anything happens, no Yankee show tomorrow for me. We will have our Knicks show in the nighttime, so tune in. But no Yankee show in the morning. Like Jay said, going to come back after the New Year with the first Yankee show 2025. Jason, I look forward to this upcoming season. I look forward to covering this amazing team. With you doing what you doing, with what I'm doing, what I'm doing, I know we're both going to kill it.
hell yeah, man, hell yeah. Let's support. Make sure we support Uptown Sports. Let's support the Ford Train Express, the Strike Zone. The Chronicles. Support the boys. This is a tight knit family. We don't want to be here for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And all you
Just so everybody know, right? So when it comes to me and what I do with Latino sports, I get press passes and media coverage for the New York Yankees, for the Mets. So the days that I'm at Yankee Stadium with my media pass working media, Jay, if you have a pregame show or if you want to set up a pregame show around my schedule there, you let me know and I'll tap in right from the press box. I'll give you whatever injury reports, whatever scouting reports that I get access to you. We'll break it down on your stream at the pregame.
hell yeah, sign me up for that, man. Yeah, that my man, my brother Hector, man, I like that. I'll
Yes,
definitely
sir.
that, man. We're gonna give to you all next year. 2025 is gonna be a bigger year for all of us, gang. So it's just gonna get bigger and better. We're gonna keep doing great things. Hector's doing great things. He's killing it, Uptown Sports, Latino Sports, and appreciate everything you do too, brother, man. Really, really do, man.
Nah,
Love
I appreciate you, Jay. I say it all the time. And yes, we rebranded the channel to Uptown Sports TV. Yanks Morning Brew is still there, but we got a new Knicks show, Knicks and Fuego. We've got a new Jets show. So like Jason said, we're gonna be doing a lot of great stuff this upcoming season. I'm gonna be down there for spring training. So Jason, you already know we're gonna be tapping in with each other down there as well. So it's gonna be a good time.
definitely, 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 brother, man. And everybody in the chat, really, Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for everything that you've done for us and for the channels and thank you for what you bring to the channel. It's you guys and gals that make our channels better. We appreciate you spending time with us. Your days, your afternoons, your nights, whenever it is. We love hanging in with you and chatting with you and all this stuff. So we love all of yous. Love you guys. Love Hector always, and Hector's very lovely co-host Grace Monroe from Uptown Sports too, representing, bringing another some more flair and another just more perspective and more knowledge to the game. So appreciate her as well. So thank you guys for what you do. Really, really do. And have a happy new year to all of you. Be safe. Okay, whatever you do tomorrow, be safe.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts. Like Jason said again, um, we're all fans, right? And the one thing that connects us is being able to make these platforms so we can have these conversations, right? Like Jason said, we have these shows so you fans could chime in and build on the conversation. It's not just the echo chamber. It's not just us repeating our thoughts to each other back and forth. No, we want to hear what you guys say in the chat, right? As long as everybody's respectful to one another, as long as nobody is calling people name or attacking people personally, we can have great conversation. It's a sport at the end of the day. But the one thing that connects all of us is our fandom for the New York Yankees. We fell in love with this game as children, right? This is a question I asked. I told Garrett Cole, we fell in love with this game as kids, and as adults, we get to build on our friendships with other people because we fell in love with something as children, and we can share this to this day in our late ages in life. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, it's really important to Hector and myself that we're good to each other. Just be good. Just be decent people, man. That's it. Like, that's all we ask. Really, to be decent people and enjoy each other's company. We can agree, we can disagree. That's totally fine. Okay. And yeah, I did see this, Ken. I heard. Well, one of the problems with the Yankees farm being ranked 20, whenever you have players that get promoted to the majors, your farm takes a hit, right? And the Yankees had Austin Wells up, Luis Hill up officially, no longer on the prospect list. Two guys in the top three for Rookie of the Year. So the Yankees farm system went from top five to bottom five. So that's just going to happen. And then the guys generally that just get drafted, they generally don't really start affecting the farm until this coming year. So I expect to see some bumps in the draft as well. You'll see some progress from Spencer Jones. Jason Dominguez will no longer be on the prospect list because he'll be up at the majors. So there's going to be some movement in the farm. So I'm not worried too much about that, Ken. The Yankees are doing okay. And the Yankees are going to draft internationally. They're going to be just fine. They're lying, and they're already, what are they tied in for, like the top two international players for the next 2 years, Hector, or something like that? Right?
Yeah, just like that. The Yankees they're trying to utilize the international signing pool or the international pool before the new CBA or collective bargaining agreement where that international period becomes a draft. So the Yankees need to try to utilize that over the next couple of years before it turns into a draft.
Yeah, and I hope that they do something with the QO and maybe the salary floor. Hopefully those at least become part of the discussion. Maybe stop penalizing the teams that invest in their teams.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see them. If you're a team that you've been on the bottom three of payroll expenditure for like 3 seasons in a row, I want them to like lose their place in the draft. Like it should be no reason back to back to back years in a row. You have teams that are using luxury tax money or revenue sharing as a way to fund their organization and pocket the money. That's not fair to the rest of the fans in Major League Baseball. Forget about the Yankees. It's not fair to us fans. My guy Ace, what it do, baby?
ASAP, what's good, brother? What is good? Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy New Year's. So it's true, man.
Yes, sir. Happy New
This
Year's.
is one of the parts of the game that I hope changes. Just like Ghost Runner, I hope they do something about the Ghost Runner too. So, uh, but the QO, I don't like the fact that there's so much penalties attached to it, and I think there should be a salary floor. But and we've talked about that uh, a lot. So, Jose, you don't have to give up anybody for Tanner Scott. He's a free agent. And you don't give up Jones, Stroman, and DJ for a reliever. I wouldn't even give that much for
No.
Mariano Rivera.
Well, that maybe I'm different. Yo, but Jay, I gotta dip out though. Again, love you, bro.
Love you
Shout
too.
out, shout out to the chat. Everybody that's in the chat: Ray, John, Jonathan, Ace, Ken, Angela, Chocolate, Jose, Stephen B, Javi, Joe. I don't want to forget Joe before he'll show up to my house and whip my ass. Shout out to Joe again. Happy New Year's, everybody. Jay, I love you, bro. Happy New Year's to you and the family, baby.
Be safe, brother. Be safe, brother. I'll talk to you, man. Much love, man. All of you, gang, really. Everybody in here. Have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's. And I love all of you. Again, can't thank you enough. I really can't thank you enough for everything that you do. So go have a great night. I'm going to go spend the rest of the night with my wife. Just going to go hang out and watch a movie and stuff like that. So, I will keep you updated on everything else. I promise you that. Really do. So I'm on a mission to get to I'm going to surpass 30,000 subs in 2025. I'm going to try to get to 40 if we can. The hell, why not? So I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. But smack the like button on the way out. If there's anybody in here that's not subbed, please hit that on the way out. If you do sub, just hit the notifications. Okay, that way you don't miss anything. But have a wonderful, happy New Year's. Be safe. Love to all yous. Love you all. You're the best. See you on the other side.